Hey, we are back. I'm going to be working on baby hairs and hopefully, hopefully this is the last time we paint on this baby. I may have to do the baby hairs. We may have to do baby hairs in 2 sessions. It just depends. Sometimes I do really well on one side and not so well on the other. And sometimes I can get them both done at the same time and it turns out fine. So we're going to see. Alright, so this is the original eyebrow hair paint, and what I did was revive it with some thinner, and then I added some flake white, and as you can see it lightened it up quite a bit, and I may need to add some more white. I'm not quite sure yet, but we'll put it on the baby. Let me move these lights around. We'll put it on the baby and see from there, go from there, whatever. Alright, lights help me see. Alright, so we're going to need our little Christine Lily brush. For some reason, that got knocked over. Oh, okay, good. I think it's okay. I thought for a second there it bent my brush for good, but I think it'll be alright. These things are kind of expensive. I didn't want it to ruin. Alrighty, so little teeny tiny. What do you want, kitty? Little teeny tiny brush for these. And I got my little kiddos here. And she's cute. You ready to paint? Yep. She said she's ready. Look at her. She's ready to paint. She's like, whatever, let's do this thing. Whatever, let's do this thing. Alright, here we go. You's a purry baby. Yes, you are. This little kitty. She's been a blessing to me. Sweet baby. Alright, so right now I'm putting some long hairs. And it seems like it's not really showing very well. There we go. Alright, I think it's going to be fine. I may have to line it just a little more. Yeah. I like that one. So, I'm going to come away. And I'm dragging my brush up the side of the palette. I'm going to come away from the brows. Kitty's funny. I think the kitty's stomach is grumbly. Not sure if this is going to show like I want. Well, maybe it will once it dries. Maybe I can tell. Okay, so it's going to come like a V. Come down like a V. Short little strokes here and longer ones by his hairline. Oops. Definitely don't want that. Blow up there. No, thank you. You can see grabbing some of that white paint. I don't want it. It's just areas that I didn't get stirred up very well. Trying to find a good place to grab it off the palette. It's hard to find the right consistency. Okay. Might help you guys out a little bit more as far as seeing. I mean, I can see wet strokes, but as far as paint goes, not real sure. I mean, it's pretty close to skin tone. And I'm going to wipe it off, and we're going to make this just a little bit lighter. Alright, grab some flake white. Let's do this again. Cleaning this out just because I don't want a bunch of white in my, or this creamy color in my paint. Make a big old mess. No, thank you. There's a little bit of white on the edge there. Alright, now this is quite a bit lighter. Try to get as stirred as possible so I don't accidentally grab some of the paint that wasn't mixed right. Okay. Oh, goodness. Let's see, I'm going to get a drink real quick. About to roll off my lap, kitten. She's over here twisting around and rolling around. She just about fell off. Okay, so we're going to try this again. That brush is kind of wonky. I didn't realize I'd set it inside the brush holder upside down. It was on me. Hopefully it'll straighten itself out. Drives me nuts. I don't like change. Okay. Again, I can see. Oh, that was not right. I don't want that on there. I want to be able to see it, but I don't want a big white patch either. Trying to drag it through the paint, and it almost seems like it's not taking, but obviously it is, because there's some, every now and then I can see a little bit of color. It's a little thicker than I'd like, though. Maybe it'll dry thinner here, we'll see. I'm having trouble here deciding if it just needs to set up or what the deal is. This is not coming out like my eyebrows, that's for sure. May need to use the other Christine brush. I'm not happy with it. Give me just a minute, guys. Let me use the other brush. See if that makes it a little better. This is, you see my little thing is wonky. Okay. So this is the one that is or the original one. So well, it's definitely grabbing the paint. Okay, those long strokes, at least I can see the paint. Those long strokes are too long. is just putting some random hairs. Some of them are a bit thick, so. Okay, you can actually go down from here if you want. Like, what do you call it? Peach fuzz, I guess. I'm gonna call them baby hairs because I don't know what it's called. Not so keen on those. Nope. Kind of thinning them out just a little. You can do that by going over and over a little bit. It thins them out. I don't like that. Yeah. Big blob there, no thank you. And the point of this is just to make it look like it's a little more filled in and it doesn't have, yeah, that side's not so good. And it's not so bare there. I've overloaded my brush, give me just a second. Go lighter on the touch, see if maybe it needs a little bit more wet. And when you stir up this paint, you will naturally have areas that has a little bit more thinner. And so you can play around with it. Too much paint loaded on your brush. Now, if you want to get like super into it, you can do like little hairs maybe on the ears. You know, some babies are born with a little bit of extra hair that kind of goes away when they get older. Bald patch there. Let's clean that up. You know, I'm not keen on that. Just give me a sec. I don't want that on there. Yeah, and you can make it darker if you don't want it so light. You know, whatever you need to do. And also, if you want to just like make the little things thinner even, you can go back through it with just thinner. And you can kind of thin them out a little. Oof. Yeah, that was too much. Okay, I don't want to waste what's on there because I kind of like it the way... My bad. Oh, I dropped my brush. Okay, so you see that blob right there? I don't really like that. So I'm going to use a light brush to take it off. And I'll replace it. So that looks really good, and I'm pretty happy with that side in general. I'm trying to see. I gotta wait till it dries to see if it's gonna be the same thickness as the other side. But, I mean, to me it looks pretty good, except there's a little spot. Okay, it looks pretty good. Maybe just a little lighter than it needs to be, but I'm kind of digging it. And I'll take a picture and double check, make sure Mom digs it too. Oh my goodness, why is there a little bald spot there? There we go. Just to make sure she digs it like I do. Last thing I want is her to think, oh, why did you put so much hair on there? Okay, so he's got little hairs on his temples. And kind of coming out of his eyebrow area. And I really like it. It's kind of like Lanugo type. I'm going to add just a little bit to his eyebrows too. Just to lighten them up some. You know, nothing too flashy. Looks a little better, and then we're going to do this side. Try not to get my fingers in the wet paint. Sort of lighten them up just a tad. Oh, good, I didn't. I thought for a second, I'm like, oh my gosh, I got my finger in the paint. Lovely. Okay. That side's not quite dry. I'm getting paint everywhere. That Side's not quite dry. Looks really good, I think. I'm gonna dig in it. Maybe put some right there. I did it like this for a friend's Elijah, and it turned out really cute too. But he had a whitish hair, so it was kind of like this color all over. All right, snap some pictures, take it to Mom, see what she says. As you can see, he's got some fine whitish hairs. Love it, but let's see here. Maybe not those are awful bright. Let's try this. You can put some down on his jawline if you want. It just sort of makes a C. Kind of. Is it called Lanugo? I think it's called Lanugo. My baby has some facial hair. Okay, yeah. It's called Lanugo. Now, I don't think it's going to bake on quite that dark, so... Anyway, he's got a little bit down his jaw there. And a little bit down that jaw. Now, you could, like, bring it down. And when it goes down, it'll go down this way and go down that way. So if you want to bring the hairs down, and there's nothing saying you can't put more hair on them, because babies have a lot of hair sometimes. So you would want to bring it down like this, and then you'd want to bring it down like that. Okay, so that, and then if you want to, we can kind of stain it a little bit, and I think that would be a good idea. We'll put some darker, I'm going to darken that up a little bit, and we can kind of stain it in a little bit to make it blend in just a little bit more. But totally up to you guys where you want to put your baby hairs, if you want baby hairs. So, anywhoosie, I'm going to get off here. Okay, I'm going to tie this video in with the baby hair video. I wanted to show you guys. I did a little bit of staining, so I took the little baby hair color and some of the brown, and I made a really thin wash. And what I did was I put it on a sponge, and this is called staining, and you could probably still see a little bit. And I put a thin wash. Actually, there's 3 washes on there, but I did his eyebrows, and then to kind of blend it so it didn't look so weird, I used the dry end of it, and I kind of blended it in together. And I went down to his little cheeky here and his little cheeky there, and I went up in here and around all the way to that little peak and down, and then I did like his whole head as well. And basically what that does is sort of blend in those hairs so it doesn't look so stark, and I think it did a pretty good job. My camera would focus, that would be sweet. But can you see his little, oh my silly, you can kind of see his little hairs. They come down a little bit down on his cheeky there. At least you can see where it's stained. A little bit there. Hopefully you guys can see or at least zoom in or something. And I added some little bit of white hairs to his brows. They're still pretty golden color like his head, but that's okay. And his little baby hairs at the top. And then, like I said, I did 3 layers on the baby hairs, and I went and I did 2 layers on the rest of his head, just to kind of blend it a little bit, fill in the gaps just a tiny bit. I mean, it's not like a whole lot. Maybe a little bit right there. Let's see if you can tell the difference. But he is ready to bake, and that is it for his hair. He is going to bake, and then I'm going to do a video on sealing, varnishing, sealing, and then we can root lashes and set his magnet, and I'll video that, and hopefully I'll be able to record putting him together. Sometimes I have trouble and it takes forever, so I won't, obviously I won't post a video that takes way long, but I hope you have enjoyed this series, working on our sweet little Dominic. And unfortunately, the camera always gets the color off. He's actually a strawberry and cream baby, so he's fair complected, lots of little rosy rashy. His lips are a little bit darker than his blush. Anyway, I'm very pleased with how he turned out, and he looks super cute. I've never done this color blonde, so he looks super cute with blonde hair. And I have white lashes, or almost white lashes. They're blonde, but it should match the little baby hairs. So, alrighty.